Hi guys, VTech here, Blueberry Hill. So we're not at the site, we're at a remote location in, I guess it's East Austin, a place called Driveway Austin. There's a local track here. It's an education track. I actually instruct at and play. And we're tasked to get some goods. So let me show you what we're looking at. So here's the leftover building that never got put up. It's been here about 8 years, maybe. And this is all ours. So we're gonna take it. We got friends with in high places with transport trailer truck and stuff, and we're gonna come back here, load it up, and take it to the house. And we're gonna be using this to build our patio support structure. There's also steel in here that should help with building the deck on top of the master bedroom. So we've got some fun stuff gonna happen. But you can see there's a lot of things here. So I believe the building, I suppose, is red, at least the trim is. That's the wall and the roof system, I believe. It's very long, so we need a 38 to 40 foot trailer. We have friends with the transport, so he's going to help us with that. There's some short I-beams and steel parts. We could definitely make a building out of partially that, I don't know. And then there I see the roof. I see some panels over there. They're not quite our panels. There are some other kind of panels. But anyway, we're tasked to come and get the stuff. So that's what we're going to do. And so we just came by to survey just to see how much stuff there is and how we can get our hands on it. It's been here for a while. You can see the shrubbery overgrown. We're going to have to take those shrubs down and then pull everything out with the backhoe. Bill, who owns this place, has a forklift for the tractor, so we'll be able to use that. I did a little bit of clearing right there with the tractor just so we can see what we're looking at. But pretty exciting. We're pumped because it's at no cost to us except for transport. Yoo-hoo! We love you, Bill. And there's the backhoe. I'm talking about the tractor.
Yes.
And she brought more gear to come out here with.
Than you.
I have shorts on and not really good for walking around in snake country. So anyway, I think we're done surveying. We're gonna come back and come and get the stuff, and then get our friend Brian with his transport to help us deliver it to our place. So more to come on that, and we're pumped though because this is our next phase. We don't have to do the patio like tomorrow. We're doing electrical work, if you remember. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to remember, we did it yesterday. But anyway, we're on par with grabbing some interesting stuff. We weren't at the point to actually purchase the steel for the patio structure, but it's here. We need to get it moved out within the next week or two, and we'll go with that. So anyway, thumbs up. Talk at you later. We'll be going home, doing some more electrical work. So yay. So we're gonna come back tomorrow and load up the red trim. That'll fit on my trailer, no problem. You can see I took out all the shrubbery that was in front of this. And then the rest of this, I got a little bit damaged, I might have hit that. Siding and roof, we'll need to transport a larger trailer. This is the only portion of it. There's all that red trim there. Oh, tons of it. Whatever trim. Roof caps. And then behind. So, back here are the air panels, or whatever kind of panels, for the building too. So, this all right here, I think it's a roof system. I could be wrong. Might be the walls, who knows. But anyway, it's red. That's cool. But anyway, that goes with. So these are long, so we'll need the transport for that as well. It'll be fun getting that out. But anyway, as you can see, we got a little bit of work ahead of us. But my God, we appreciate Bill offering this to us. He has to clean it out anyway from the property, so win-win for us, and we appreciate his help. So anyway, we'll catch up with that later. Over and out. So after taking a look at the metal building, I came back and just ran the 10-3 wire to the dryer. It's basically a fairly thick wire. I'm running up on the bulkhead like the other wires, and not a problem. It actually slips pretty easily through there. We did stop at Elliott Electric to actually get this wire. Home Depot and Lowe's did not have any. But anyway, no problem. You can see it's a different color. I guess they actually make them a different color so you know what gauge it might be. And we have a little bit left over. I bought 25 feet extra, which was probably a very good thing because we needed every bit of it. And we have maybe 15 feet left over. Anyway, there it is. Hi guys. So you just saw me pull the 10-3 wire. Wasn't too bad. That's pretty much the bundle of wire that goes up in that area. You saw me do it at the header and the container. That's a little of a compromise header because the ceiling is going to stay container. And because of that, we don't have 2x to route the wires around. We have to put it in that bulkhead header, but it'll be okay. We'll squirt some foam in there as well to lock everything up and insulate that area. But for the most part, we have all the wires for the master bedroom and the utility room done, including the hallway. I got one more line to run there for the outdoor lights. It's going to start there and then spread out to all the outlets that we're going to put there. There, I'm just finishing up the routing of the 10-3 wire to the actual outlet. I don't have the outlet yet, but I'll get that. We're going to put a 4-prong instead of a 3-prong. We have an old style dryer, so we'll just convert it over. And here I'm running the 10-3 for the stove. We're going to get a propane or gas stove top, but the oven's going to be electric, and that's a 30-watt oven. So just making sure we have that in place, and that's going to be dedicated line just for the oven itself. Hi guys, we take here at Blueberry Hill. So here we are. This is July 29th. I'm going to be putting up 2 big ceiling fan supports in our living room, and I'm going to put all the wiring on the chimney side. It's going to basically go to the right and to the left on the ceiling fans. I'll show you that where they're located, but off the center from the chimney is where the fireplace is all. And the wiring is going to run inside the chimney box along the header over here into the 2 switches. There's a 3-way switch, one in the hallway and one over here in the dining room. These supports, called a safety bar, supposed to support up to a 150-pound fan on 16-ounce center rafters. So that's what we have. So hopefully that's true. We're looking at getting 72-inch ceiling fans with probably 5, 6, even 7-blade versions. We'll see what Angie likes, but I already have it in mind what I like. It's kind of like a bronze black look with wooden fan blades. Look pretty contemporary, modern looking fans. Anyway, higher performance than the normal 4-footers or whatever you get, like in Lowe's or whatever. The other roof will get more of a normal flare fan, but the contemporary style as well. Anyway, let's get to that. And then in a few hours, Jake's coming over and we're going to put the fireplace in place, mount that up, and start assembling the chimney I don't think I'll be cutting the hole today in the ceiling, but in the roof. But that's probably gonna happen in the next few days. I'm gonna seal that up and have to make a chimney for the roof part for the hat, for the chimney hat. I'll show you that when we get to that point. Anyway, follow along. We're gonna go switch into time lapse, and I'll catch you later.
There, I'm going to run all the wires. I have to cut some holes for the actual wire to go to the ceiling fans. Pretty straightforward. I actually switched over to a normal drill bit. I believe it's a 3/4 inch, and that actually drills pretty good. We had one of those dedicated auger bits, and I think I broke it on the first nail I hit, regardless of the fact that it was meant for that. But regardless, that kind of didn't work as well, so I went to the normal drill, and here I'm putting the ceiling fan support and screwing that in. Then I run the wire to it. It's going to be, this is controlled by 2 3-way switches. So this is the lights are on the inside of the circuit, so pretty straightforward on wiring that one. And then the 3-wire goes to the switches, so they can manage the power to the ceiling fans themselves. These will be fairly large fans, so these supports are supposed to handle up to 100-pound fans. We'll see about that.
Holy moly, it is hot up there. I can stand about 5-10 minutes up there, then I'm sweating like crazy. But anyway, so let me explain what we're doing here. We've got 2 ceiling fans, and they're at the end of run kind of things for 2 3-way switches. So that's 12 2-wire I'm just putting up between the 2 fans, and then a 12 3-wire will go to the first switch and then to the second switch. Unfortunately, they're 40 feet away from each other, or maybe 30. But so one of the fans going right to the left of the fireplace, so not too long. And then we're going to build a kind of a feature wall over here. So the wire's going to run instead of the chimney over the bulkhead and down to the 3-way switch. And then from that 3-way switch, it'll go around the side wall and dining room area to the other 3-way switch. It's they have all these scenarios for 3-way switches and other switches, and even 4-way. I'm not even going to get into that. But for the most part, everything that's switched, we're doing 12 3-wire. That gives you all the options. It has 2 hots, neutral, and then a ground. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. It takes a little more wire. I don't want to drill straight across in the middle of the rafters. I don't think it'll compromise the structure, but there's nothing, no weight there. But trying to do all the holes against the where the container is, minimize any kind of stress or load. Again, I'm not worried about it because there's nothing up there except for the tin roof. So anyway, back to time lapse, and we'll get this knocked out, and maybe with the next half hour.
Here I'm going to mount the second ceiling fan and route the wires to it, and then staple them to the 2x12 joist, and then we'll call it good. And we're going to move on to playing with the fireplace in just a little bit. You'll see that. So finishing up the wiring on the second ceiling fan. Here's the 12 3-wire being run from the other fan to this, and then the 12 3-wire comes from the switches to manage the control circuit. Normal end of run lights, fans kind of thing from 3-way switches, and then I decided to put the clamps for the wire to the joist. Here I'm running the actual wire. I have to make it long enough to make it through there. I love this fact that I can just put the wire behind the 2x4s. That's been kind of, I've been smiling about it all the time. I do get stuck here and there, but not a big deal. It's a lot easier than drilling holes in every single 2x and running wires that way. So Jake showed up to help me out. This is the second part of that. You see me in a different shirt. I actually had to swap shirts because I was so soaked from the other earlier stuff. I put on a cleaner shirt, and then Jake and me finish up the wiring for the switches, and then we moved on to doing the fireplace, which you'll see in a minute. Basically, we're threading the header you see over there on the right where Jake's working. We're just using duct tape to hold the wires there for a second, and then we're finishing up the wiring to the switch. And then we call that good, and then we're going to switch over to doing the fireplace, which is more exciting than just running wire. And there you go. The ceiling fan is wired-ish. So there you go. See, Jake and I just slid the fireplace in place. We set it on 2x4s, and then we just manhandle it into place. We were trying to figure out how to get it up there, but it's not that heavy. It just doesn't have handles on it, so it fit like a glove. We just settled it in. We put one more 2x underneath it. You didn't see that. just to help the way the brackets on the underneath it touch the brackets I made, foundation part. And then here Jake's putting in the concrete walls. They're just normal facade brick kind of things, but they're thermal brick or thermal concrete. And we wedged it a little bit. We had to align it just to make it fit perfectly. And now we're putting in a couple of the pipes. They all snap together. It's pretty easy to do. There's really no fastening or anything. Just everything snaps nice and tight. And it has of course a pipe and a pipe. So the hot's on the side, and the outside is the thermal barrier, I suppose. And then I'm going to have to put a fresh air supply to a vent on the bottom of it for fresh air intake. But that's not a big deal. Anyway, we called it good after this, and now is it. So here we are at the driveway, and now we're picking up the part of the metal building that Bill gave us. This is our first few scoops. I had to use he has a Caterpillar tractor backhoe, and the forks don't snap onto the backhoe like I'm used to. They just hang on the bucket, so it's a little bit of a different play with the forks, but we managed to do it okay. I'll probably bring my Bobcat, and we're loading up the 40-foot trailer for the rest of our steel. So we're doing pretty good on this stuff. You can see that the tractor's got a bleed off. If I leave it alone, it bleeds off pretty quick. Almost have the same problem with the Bobcat, but not that fast. So anyway, it was a few hours of work. We loaded up what we could on my flatbed trailer. There's Andrew putting stuff on there, and I think we'll do one more load. That's all. This is all trim work and probably soffit stuff. And one of these red chunks of metal slid off when we put it on there, so I was trying to figure out how to get it back on the trailer. Ended up just going on the back side as soon as that in a second, sliding it onto the trailer. Anyway, everything worked pretty good. We made it home safe and sound. I didn't videotape us unloading it. It didn't take us too long, but it was harder to unload than to load, so it took us about an hour and a half to unload. But we now have this part of the building on our site, and then we're waiting on Brian, the CDL, to help us out with the 40-foot trailer and get the rest of it. That's going to be probably a couple of 3 trips, and one of the trips I'll probably get the Bobcat. I don't know if I'm going to use my trailer or we're going to just throw it on the 40-footer and make it all work. So here we are, just tying it all down. I think we used a total of 5 tie downs. We did stop once on the way home just to retighten stuff because all this metal, it's kind of flimsy, right? So once we hit a few bumps, it kind of moves around. So we retied it on the way home, and everything was good to go. Made it safe and sound, and we're looking forward to the big 40-footer to get the rest of this stuff. Anyway, big deal here. It's a huge gift from Bill, so we appreciate that tremendously.
Oh, we don't know. Hey guys, we take here Blueberry Hill with Angie. Yeah. So as you can see, we got a trailer full of metal. So this is most of the trim for the metal building we're getting from Bill, and took us what, an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. So we use a tractor. You saw that in the video, time lapse, and we're taking the first chunk home. We're not too concerned about scratching it here and there because it was a building at one point, but there's enough damage parts on it that it's probably not ever going to be a normal building. But we're going to make use of whatever we can. Anyway, it's a win-win for everybody. Brian, another friend of ours with the CDL, he's going to be getting a trailer and truck and helping us with the other parts, which are over there. So we did a pretty good dent. We took all the little stuff. The other red you see over there are big giant downspouts. We'll get them later. We don't want to get them right now. But so that's the main structure right there, all the frames. And then we have paneling behind the office way over there. So anyway, we'll get that another day, probably early next week, whenever we can find a 40-foot gooseneck. So anyway, talk at you later.